Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, Motorhoming Fun. It's midweek, the 28th of October now, and we've come for a little midweek walk we have today. We've got both dogs with us, we've got Sky and Bo, and we've come over to Stanwick Lakes in Northamptonshire. So it's a nice, bright but breezy October morning, so we're just going to have a nice little wander about everybody, show you about and have a little chat. So come with us. Well, as you can see, we've come over in the little camper van this morning. It's the first time we've had a little ride out for about a week now in the camper, so why not, everybody? So as I say, little walk around Stanwick Lakes. We might go across the other side of the Nene River today to do the Nene Way. So as I say, come with us and enjoy the little chat. So as I say, this is Stanwick Lakes, and in front of us we've got the main Stanwick Lakes Visitors Centre and CAF, and that I don't think it's open at the moment. The CAF we're currently about 9 o'clock in the morning, but this is basically a little nature reserve place built on or made on some old gravel pits, and that I remember the gravel pits as a kid over 50 years ago. You can remember seeing all the lorries and all the diggers in here, etc. and that, but it's made a nice little place to come for a walk, and that we do pay an annual fee to come here, so we don't have to pay every time. Otherwise it's about £4 to park, but we pay £48 a year, and we certainly get our money's worth out of it, everybody. So just in front of us we've got another little cafe called the Walker's Rest. That's a little outdoor cafe. I think it opens about 10 o'clock, and in front you got a bit of an adventure playground for the kiddies. Fortunately that was burnt down a couple of years ago, or 3 or 4 during COVID I think it was, and they had to rebuild it, but as I say, it's back to its former glory now. Well, the building in front is for traditional crafts, and that they do open that up generally weekends, or they do days where they do craft making, etc. And there's also cycle hire in front as well. I think that's a little bit seasonal, it is, so sometimes it's open, sometimes not. And we got the lovely, I don't know what you'd call them, Victorian gardens here, heritage gardens I think, and that. So as I say, it's a nice little place to have a look round. Well, if you want to go back on the channel, everybody, we have done various walks from here before in different directions. We've had some lovely drone flights as well above, and that. We haven't got the drone with us today and that, but as I say, it's a really lovely place to come. As I say, it's probably going to be the best day of the week today, weather-wise. I think tomorrow onwards we've got some rain coming, but at the morning, this morning, as you can see, it's lovely blue skies. Right, I'd just like to thank everybody who's been watching our recent videos, mainly from Felixstowe, and that lovely walks, a campsite review and some drone footage. We've still got a few more to come from there, everybody, and that, so we're going to slip this little local walking video in between those. But as I say, thank you very much for watching those. Well, as I say, there's many ways to go around here. We've got all these lovely little lakes which have been formed over the years. As I say, these are where they pulled all the gravel out, etc. and that. But as I say, we try to vary it each time we come, different routes and that. And we generally have about a 3-mile walk most times, so today will be no different. And you can see some lovely autumn sun today. Quite low in the sky, the sun is now, and that. We've got the darker nights now, everybody, haven't we? Slightly lighter in the morning at the moment, but that will rapidly change over the coming weeks. Right, regarding travel plans, everybody, as you know, or some of you do, and some of you have messaged me and that. Yes, travel plans, we're not going to book anything at the moment. Any future trips are going to be spur of the moment trips, everybody. As you know, we are waiting for the shoulder replacement to happen, which I don't think will happen this side of Christmas, but hopefully it does. But as you know, I've also got serious back problems as well going on. As I say, I did make a little short video on Saturday. We did go and see the consultant, and he's now recommended I have some more MRI scans up to date, and also he wants to do, I think it's called a electromyopathy test, which is basically a nerve and muscle test, similar to an ECG. I guess they put these probes on your skin. They can also put needles into your muscles to test them. So that's going to happen in the next few weeks. So we just don't want to book any trips at the moment, as I say, until I know what these test dates are and that. But I would like to get away in November and that. Certainly get one more trip in before Christmas and that. As I say, the motorhome hasn't been used since our main summer holiday when we come back in July and that. Yes, we did have the little camper van trip to Felixstowe, which we enjoyed, but as I say, I think we want to get away in the motorhome, a bit more warm and cozier for the winter, autumn, and that we can go out, leave the heating on, we've got lovely hot water in there, etc. So that is the plans, and then we'll get those results back from the consultant and then think about what we're going to do, everybody. Right, so we're going to take a right hand turn shortly. I'm going to head down towards the Nene Way, where all the canal boats are, and that you got the canal tow path, almost what you call it, and the lock gates down here. Sometimes we're lucky, we see some boats in the lock gates, and they've got some nice canal boat moorings further up. If we do see any canal boats moored there, we'll probably have a little wander up to them. Well, as some of you seen on my Facebook page, Ian and Sky Motorhome in Fun, the motorhome passed its MOT with no advisories last Friday, so we're happy about that. It's probably the lowest amount of miles we've done in a year, mainly due to not using it early part of the year when we had the shoulder surgery. But yes, we only done 800 miles in it this year. So as I say, I've had it 7 years now, and I think that was the lowest ever. Well, we're just showing you the views as we're going around, everybody. As I say, it's quite a nice morning, very breezy and that, but I can cope with this if it's like this all autumn and winter. Well, we had quite a busy day yesterday, everybody. Yesterday, Monday, it was Mum's day at hospital. We had to take her for a second cataract redone. First one was done about 3 weeks ago, which was a total success. So, as I say, we're just 24 hours in from this one now. She took the patch off her eye this morning, cleaned it, now putting the drops in and that, so hopefully this one will go just as good. She was back driving after about 10 days with the first one and that, but all is good on that front. Right, so we're just going to cross over these little bridges now, where the water flows below. Not necessarily the river, just these little streams that have been formed. And then we'll get to the other side of here and we've got the lock gate. As you can see, it is one of our favourite walks to come on. As you all know, we do love going to the Swalwell Hills and Dales and through the woods there and the plantation. So we are quite lucky here in Northamptonshire. We've got quite a few good walks right on our doorstep within a few miles. As you know, we go to Wicksteed's Park a lot, which is our local walking walk, which is on our doorstep. No need to get the camper or the car out to go there. So as I say, sleepy Northamptonshire, as I say, is lovely walking territory. So this is the lock gate. I can't see any boats in here this morning, but we'll show you. If I can see any boats further up, we'll have a little wander up there, but we'll see. There could be one up there, it might be. I'm out the way, Sky. So this is the lock gate on the Nene River, or Nene River, some people call it, and that just depends where you come from. But we'll spin you around in a minute and show you the other gate. It's an electronic gate. This other end, don't go down there, Sky. As you can see, there's a big gate that's shut down. I think they can just about get 2 boats in here side by side, or possibly 4, one behind each other. But as I say, a little bit unlucky, nothing's coming through. We will walk up here. I think there is a boat up here. I'm not sure whether it's a canal boat or just a cruiser, but we'll go and show you, and then we'll have to just come back down this way again. Right, so we're just coming up to the little mooring spot where the canal boats can park up. I think they can park here for 48 hours, I believe. Don't hold me to that, everybody, but as I say, it's a lovely little spot they can pull up on. As you can see, 48-hour mooring, no fishing, and we've got one little cruiser there, I believe, and one canal boat. As you can see, the sun is quite low today, but glorious. So this is one of the boats. And there's a little cruiser as well. A couple of chairs out there, and that's they've been relaxing. So we won't go any further, everybody. We'll come back on ourselves now and carry along the Nene Way. Right, I didn't really mention too much about my back problems, if you didn't know already, everybody, but the last MRI scan showed I'd got a trapped nerve between L4 and L5, also a bulging disc in that region, and also I've got curvature of the spine, they said. But the main problem is why they want to do some of these tests out, or the nerve tests, is I do constantly have a very numb right thigh. Not the back of my thigh, but the front of the thigh. It's mainly been since I had my shoulder surgery. I had the shoulder surgery back in January, and it's almost like I come out of the hospital or theatre with this problem. Initially I thought it was all down to the nerve block they gave me in my shoulder, just affecting all my right hand side, but the problem seemed to stay about. But I've got a feeling they moved me about in theatre, and as I say, damaged something else in my lower back to cause this problem. But as I say, we're going to get it all checked out with these further tests and that, and then as I say, we'll get some sort of idea then when we can go away. We'll probably go up to the seaside somewhere up in Norfolk and that, but as I say, it's all determined by what's happening now. Right, everybody, for anybody interested and those who are not already on the Facebook groups, I do run two nice groups, one called Motorhome in Happiness and the other one is Campervan Happiness. As I say, feel free to join both campervans, motorhomes, van conversions. As I say, we don't discriminate against anybody on those groups. If you want to join both, that's fine. And also, if you want to follow my personal Facebook page, which is Ian and Sky Motorhoming Fun. So, as I say, they're our main Facebook pages and groups. Right, so we're heading down the Nene Way now. The Nene Way, or the Nene River, is on our right hand side. And we're heading in the general direction towards Ringstead, Thrapston in Northamptonshire. If we went the other way, we'll be going towards Irflinborough, Wellingborough, Northampton. So this is the way we're going to come. We're walking all the way to the main bridge, what takes us over the River Nene, and then we'll get back into Stanwick Lakes. We can probably just about make out the river now. It's not too bad underfoot, a little bit muddy and slippery in places, but no big water puddles. We're still in walking shoes at the moment, no boots. We have still got the shorts on, as you've probably just seen, and that, so we're doing well for shorts this year. Already been March up to November at the moment, and we've not even had a long pair of trousers on in those months at all. So I'm happy about that. See if we can get another few more weeks wearing the shorts. Well, coming up shortly, we've got what they call the Irflinborough Frontier Camp. This is what they call an outward bound camp, where all the school children come for their activities, you know, archery, abseiling, general things they do on these outward bound places. These buildings here behind the fence are like some of the dormitories, etc. And that you've probably seen above on some drone flights we've done here. I really must get out and about with my still camera soon, everybody. I haven't really done much photography. The only photos I generally take are on my phones at the moment, but we must get the big camera out and the big lenses, see if we can do some nice nature photos. And that, as I say, it's mainly because I struggle to carry the big cameras or put the cameras on my shoulder and that, but hopefully we can do some very shortly. Well, we've got all the beautiful colours of the leaves and that now. We're well into autumn. You can see the leaves are dropping rapidly. We did have a cold night the other night, about +3, but as soon as we get into the minuses, most of the leaves will be dropping off. I don't know about you, everybody, but this year has just seemed to flown by. Summer just seemed to go in a blink of an eye and that, but as I say, we've got the long winter months now, colder days, colder nights and that. The heating's just starting to go on at home now and that. As I say, it would be nice to get my shoulder done. We're going to be sitting about, as I say, we'll sit about in the winter time. This is one of the gateways to the Frontier camp. You can see all the boats there. They've got some canoes and kayaks there. More accommodation blocks at the top there. They bring all these down to the river. There's a little mooring spot down the bottom there. We just walk by where they go off in. Well, just a little progress report. We're about 1.5 miles in today on the walk. As I say, we'll probably be about a 3-mile walk today when we get back to the car park. We've got another bridge coming up. That is basically access only for the Frontier camp. They go over to the other side and practice canoeing and kayaking on some of the man-made lakes. So that is all gated up. You can't actually get across there. Well, some of you may notice I'm also supporting a little knee bandage at the moment. I twisted my knee sometime last week, just before we done the Hills and Dales plantation video. I don't know whether I'd done it in bed at night, but I got out of bed in the morning and all of a sudden I thought my knee hurts. So we're just wearing a little elasticated support at the moment. We are, so I don't know whether I've just strained the muscles or ligaments in the back, but everything's happening for me at the moment, and it almost seems like it's all down the right hand side of my body. My shoulder, my back generally is the right hand side, and now the knee. So that's why sometimes you see me sort of hobbling about. Right, we're going to take the pathway to the right, straight on. You can see by the signpost, Nene Way footpath. The other way will get you back to Earthlinborough if you wanted to go that way. So it's not a route we've taken because it does take you back onto some roads. Anyway, everybody, if you really made it to this far, so far in the video, I appreciate it, everybody. We've still got a little bit to go, and everybody, so don't dismiss the video already. I know some people watch about 5 minutes and then the interesting bits come on later and that, but I urge you not to. And that, as I say, sometimes all the best bits are towards the end or the finish, and that, as I say, we've got over 1,800 subscribers at the moment, and I do get a little bit disappointed sometimes that we get very few views and people watch and that, but hey ho, it's everybody's choice to watch what they want nowadays. But as I say, it does disappoint me sometimes. As I say, we go to the effort of bringing you some nice content and then they go unwatched. Right, we'll keep heading along and we should go over the river soon, over the bridge. It'll take us back into Stanwick Lakes, where we shall take a left-hand turn today. There's also some more moorings for the boats along here. I'm sorry you haven't seen much of Bo today. She's on a lead today, everybody, and that, but she generally walks behind me. She does, with a lead on and that, and as I say, with the river about to my right hand side. We don't want to going off wandering for a swim. There'll be no way of me going in there to fetch her, so she's on a lead. Sky's pretty good. She's happy just to wander about in front and that, so she almost, it's like she knows this place like the back of her hand as well. Been here so many times. Right, so over to the other side we go now. You can walk further down, as I say, that will get you to Ringstead, Thrapston, if you want to keep going along the Nene Way. As I say, the other side there, some picnic tables and some mooring spots for the boats as well. So that is the direction we just come from, everybody. And we'll just turn you around and show you the other way. We'll say that is the mooring spots for the boats, and we're going to walk towards that way now. Right, so we're back into Stanwick Lakes side now. Just point out there for the kiddies, there's a couple of little those zip lines to play on. It is school holiday week this week, but there's not many children about, and I should say now Sky is back on a lead. It is £1,000 fine if your dog is not on a lead in Stanwick Lakes. Well, I think it could be donut day Tuesday today, everybody. We need to pop in Sainsbury's and get a few bits for Mum on the way home. So, as I say, last time I went there, a little bit disappointed. No donuts, I wasn't. So, hopefully today. So, nice little treat for ourselves. Well, a few people have asked me if I bought that latest drone, the new Mini 5 Pro, and to be honest, everybody, I've resisted the temptation so far. I think we've got enough drones. They're perfectly good for what we use and that, and as I say, money is tight now. We're retired, so as I say, the ones we've got do the job, so no intentions of buying the Mini 5 Pro. Right, this was where it splits off two ways. Sometimes we go left and that. We're going to go right today, mainly because we've done the Nene Way walk this morning, so this will still be about 3 miles by the time we get back, or a touch over, so I think it'll be plenty for the dogs today. Right, so we're going to come up to the reconstructed roundhouses soon, and that, so we'll show you in there, and then we're going to take a left-hand turn. Well, you've got a nice little viewpoint there, a couple of little benches. There's quite a few of these everywhere dotted about Stanwick Lakes, where you can just come, relax, have a little drink, bring a little picnic if you want, and just watch the world go by. Right, so we're going to head off down that left side soon. We're just going to venture into here on the right. So this is what they call the Iron Age settlement, 400 BC to 43 AD. During the Iron Age, small settlements across the valley grew into larger farming communities. So we'll just show you how everybody lived in those days. That's a little sort of Iron Age garden they had. And these are the living quarters. Probably a little bit dark in here for the camera, so hope you can see. What do you think it would have felt like living in this roundhouse? There would have been a fire in the centre, and off to the sides is the sleeping, eating and do crafting. So how would you like to live in one of these, everybody? I would assume, if you didn't know any different, it'd be luxury. Probably almost as good as tent living. And this is called the 6-post granary. And we've got a slightly larger one here, probably for a bigger family. Unfortunately, these were destroyed a few years ago. More vandals and that, but have been reconstructed in the last few years again, so it's nice to see them usable and for everybody to enjoy. A lot of schools come here and do little trips around here, educational trips. Right, as I say, we're going down here. We could have gone straight on, which is a quicker way to the car park, everybody, but as I say, this is a nice little way to end the walk on.
I'll paint with colours and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my
Well, we've got a couple more lakes each side of this pathway. Clouded over a little bit now, it has. Still quite breezy, everybody, so I hope you haven't picked up too much wind noise on this video.
gonna let the past be filled with smoke. And I will try to fix what has been broken. And take this
You can see the wind blowing on these reed beds.
yesterday and come back. I'm gonna let the past stay in.
I'll just show you the other side.
Listen to the ocean.
I must admit there's not too much wildlife about today. I've seen not many ducks, geese, swans. You can probably hear a few birds there tweeting. Anyway, everybody, now's the time to start hitting that thumbs up. Maybe write a little comment on the YouTube video, and as I say, I do appreciate it. It does sort of change the algorithm of the video and gets promoted to more people. As I say, the more likes, the more comments, the more YouTube recommend it to other people to watch. And this is why they always say like, comment and subscribe, people. But as I say, it's your choice, and that if you are watching on your big screens TV, just scroll on your wheel in the middle, everybody, and you can get to the thumbs up there. Hit OK, and as I say, that will give me a like. But and then you can go back onto your mobile devices, computers, and write a nice little comment. Right, we're going to head straight on, which is the quick way to the visitor centre and the car park. Sometimes we do come in from the other way on our walk. As I say, we do vary this quite a bit. There's so many different pathways we can choose. While we're walking, I'd like to just give a special thanks to one of our viewers, Mary Fennell. She's one of our best watchers, subscribers, who watches almost everything we do, drone-wise, walks, travels away. Big thank you to you, especially Mary. and I do hope your husband starts recovering from his recent problems and that health-wise. So, as I say, thank you to you for being a big part of the channel and helping it succeed. Right, so we're just taking the slow, winding pathways back towards the car park now. We've probably got about another 10 minutes, half a mile to go. So, as I say, it will be just over 3 miles this walk, 3.5 miles. As I say, thoroughly enjoyable. We do try and come here once a week if possible. We just renewed the annual pass, as I say, £48 to come here yearly. So we do, as I say, get our money's worth. Morning. More lovely views. Oh, some lovely leafy pathways this morning. Right, so we're almost back to the start point, everybody, soon, so we'll wind this up shortly with a little conclusion. As I say, it's been a lovely morning for a nice walk. Got that little bit of sunshine now and again. As I say, the rest of this week looks a little bit bleak in parts, a bit showery and that, so I thought let's get out today, do a little bit of filming and that, bring you some updates. Right, that's it, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our little walk at Stanwick Lakes and around the Nene Way today. And as I say, some little updates on health situations and travel and that, so I appreciate it. And if you could give me a comment, a like, or even subscribe to the channel, I'll be very pleased. So we'll see you all very soon. It's a bye from Ian, bye from Sky, and bye from Bo today.